you're not here, we're doing section 8.7. Today is the 20th, test Thursday. Draw a picture. You're going to be told about angles of elevation and angles of depression, and you need to know what the difference is. An angle of elevation is when you're standing somewhere and you're looking up at something else.
Do we need to write this down?
Yes. The actual angle of elevation is formed by the horizon, straight ahead from wherever you are, and going up to the object you're looking at. Here, the angle of elevation would be if you were standing here flying a kite and you're looking up to the kite. So X would represent the angle of elevation. Looking straight out and then going up. Okay, elevate. An angle of depression is when you're somewhere and you're looking down. For instance, if you were sitting at the top of a building and you were looking down to a car on the street, the angle of depression is from the horizon, looking straight ahead, down to the object that you're looking at. So in this case, this would be our angle of depression. Now, when you're told an angle of depression, you need to be careful because you're going to be drawing a triangle and it's not going to include that angle. But you can use it to find one of the angles in your triangle. Because from the horizon to the side of the building is a 90-degree angle. And if you subtract the angle of depression from 90, that's that top angle. All right? So an angle of elevation, you're looking from the horizon up, depression, horizon down.
So the bottom, that bottom triangle part isn't really there.
This is, yes, this right here is the triangle that you would be using to find out whatever it's asking you for. It may ask you how tall is the building. It may be how far away is the car. You know, what's the distance from the top of the building down to the car? Whatever.
So the angle of depression would be 90.
If I said you're on the top of a building looking down at a car and the angle of depression is 10 degrees. This is 10 degrees. I use that information to find an angle in the right triangle. So this would be 80. Okay?
How would you find how far away the car is?
Well, you would either need to know the height of the building or this. You need to know something else. You'd use sine, cosine, tangent, whatever, based on what you know and what you're looking for. All right, in this specific, this is from the classroom exercises. You don't have to draw the picture, but I want you to pay attention. Okay? If I am standing at point X, looking up to point A, is that going to be an angle of elevation or depression? Elevation, okay? From point X, the horizon is this black line. Looking up to point A is this red line. This would be the actual angle of elevation. Could somebody tell me what the degree measure would be? The ground and the horizon here and the horizon there are parallel with each other. So it would be 23 because those are alternate interior angles formed by parallel lines and a transversal. If you're standing at point Y, looking up to point A, is that an angle of elevation or depression?
Elevation.
And what's the degree measure? From point Y to point A.
35.
Okay? From the horizon up to the line joining those 2 points. 35 degrees. From point A, you're standing at point A and you're looking down at point X. That's an angle of what?
Depression.
And what's the degree measure? 23. From point A down to point Y is the angle of depression, and what's the measure? 35, because it's from the horizon down to that line. So it's both of those added together. Okay? All right, now let's answer these questions. I'm going to say you're at point whatever, looking at point whatever. You tell me, will there be an angle of elevation or depression? All you have to say is elevation or depression. And then which angle number would that angle be? Would it be number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? You are standing at point G, looking to point H. Elevation.
8.
Angle 8 would be that angle of elevation. Because from point G, straight ahead, up to the line that connects G and H. Okay? You're standing at point H, looking down at point G. Oh. Depression,
3.
angle 3.
Yes.
Looking straight ahead and then down to the line that connects G and H. You're at point H looking to point T.
Elevation and 2.
And angle 2. You're at point T looking down at point H.
Depression. 6.
5. Angle of depression, 5. Straight out from point T down to the line containing it. Okay? So you have to include the horizon straight out, and then you go down.
So why would H go into T to 2 whenever you are down?
Because from H, the horizon is here, and you're looking here at this angle.
I was going up between 1 and 2.
Yeah, no. Here's your horizon is horizontal. It's a perfectly horizontal line. Okay? And that's got to be one of the points forming it. Okay, let's go to this real quick. Here's your homework assignment. You're going to be taking the questions, and you're going to have to draw a picture based on what it asks you. The first two, the picture's already drawn for you. And you have to visualize. You have to think. If they tell you a story about flying a kite, I mean, where are you going to be? In the air or on the ground?
On the ground.
And the kite will most likely be higher than you, right? Okay, so you're going to draw yourself, you can draw the kite, and there's going to be some lines from you to the kite, and then the kite straight down to the ground, and from that point to you, and you have a right triangle.
That's it. They had some people playing with kites and draw parkish.
Okay, questions on last night's homework, on this weekend's homework?
Ooh, yes. Wait, I just messed up 10. I might have just done that.
Okay, let's start with number 10. Number 10 is an isosceles triangle because it has two legs that are 12 units long. Okay, I'm only going to draw one of those side right triangles because if this is half of an isosceles triangle, then that means that that altitude was perpendicular to the base and it cut the base in half. Well, the original base was 16, so that means that's 8.
Yeah.
Now, I can use the Pythagorean theorem to find x because I know 2 of the 3 sides.
So I did 64 equals x squared plus 144.
Did you get a radical?
Yeah.
The instructions say use a scientific calculator and round to the nearest whole
But
number.
I did 2 square roots of 10. 2 square roots of 10, that's what I got. But it was 6 point something. I might have done something. I did 2 times 2 times 2 times 5, so 2, 10. But that's at 6 point something. And you had 9.
Hold on. 12 squared is 144 equals 64 plus x squared. That's 80.
2 times 2 times 2.
80 is, actually I'm taking square root of both sides. It's 4 times 4 times 5. You needed another 2. 4 square roots of 5.
Oh, okay.
I got 9.
Which gave you 9. It is
Yeah,
9.
Oh, okay.
You were supposed to plug it into your calculator. So it's about 9. Now, yes,
What if we got 4 squared?
I'll take that into consideration. On a test, though, you need to put it in the form that it's asked for. Okay, the other thing was find the measure of this angle. Now I'm going to tell y'all a secret. When you're finding more than one piece,